All right, so let's look at how to create or move this little fly around here. All right, so we've got this fly and I've set 2 keyframes already. I imported it from Photoshop. Here's my document. Here it is on my composition comp 1, right? I've twirled down fly layer. I've twirled down this transform, right? And you can see under position is really the only thing that I've animated. I've moved the fly from here to here. Let's see it go in real time. That's a slow moving fly, right? So in order to make these things go faster, well, let's just clear them out. I'll show you how to do these, right? So let's say at this point in time, I want my fly, without those keyframes in there, my fly will not animate. So at this point in time, I'm gonna say I want my fly here, right? I'm actually gonna do it after Kermie takes a sip of his white wing. Like he needs a little fly action at this point. There's like some dead time in between sips, right? So right here, Kermie's gonna later, I'm gonna bring a tongue in, he's gonna like eat him real quick, right? We want this fly to come out kind of fast because flies are fast, right? So he puts his white wing hardcore beverage down. This fly's gonna fly, and at this point in time, I'm gonna turn on my animation by hitting this stopwatch, right? The stopwatch makes me able to animate. I'm gonna back up in time just a few frames, right? Just a couple frames. And I can either just click on it and move it around like I did there, back it up a little bit, click on it, move it around. I'm gonna make the fly, buzz around a little bit. Or I can back up my time a little bit and I can use the position controls by just mousing over it. And then I don't want to go that way. And changing the values that way, which is a lot more helpful if you want to put it at a specific XY coordinate kind of thing. Right? The only issue is here, right? This is my fly moving around. Again, it's too slow. So I'm going to zoom in on my timeline with the plus key on my keyboard. I could do that down here. I could hide this thing with my mountains. But I think the plus key, hotkeys are a lot easier if you can learn your keyboard controls. You can make animating, working in Photoshop, Illustrator, any of the Adobe products a lot easier. And simply clicking and dragging these keyframes, let me make sure there's not one over there. There is one over here. Moving these keyframes closer together is going to make my animation go faster, or the movements of my animation go faster, right? There he is, he's moving around a little bit. That's kind of nice. I want people to be able to see him. That's kind of fly motion-ish, and it's just going up and down. Now, we're going to run into a problem here because my layer for my fly is all the way up at the top, right? Let me draw that up. You can see I got a bunch of layers down below that, okay? But what happens here, as I start moving my fly further back, you can see here it's starting to go over the edge. I'm going to put this closer and this closer of my car. All right, this little car window here. I'm just going to keep animating it from here, totally behind it. And that's fine because I don't want my fly to be coming from inside my car. I want it to be coming from outside the car. And I'm going to make that to happen like real fast, like he's flying in from the outside. And he's just like, there he is. But in order for him to fly in from the outside, I need to move this layer down in my layer order. If you're familiar with Photoshop, you should know about layer orders and stacks and the way the layers at the top are like physically in front of layers behind it, right? So if I want my stapler, here it is, to be in front of my hand, I've got to move the layer above it so that it's in front of it in my animation. So in order to do that, I've got to take this fly for animation layer. Here's my car window animation layer. And I've got to move this layer down below it. And there it is. You can't see my fly anymore until I get to that point in the animation where he flies out from behind that car window, starts doing his little janky thing. And he's going to stop at that point and where my animation points stop, and his, Kermit will stick out his tongue. Once I find a tongue, build it, bring it in here, and very quickly gobble him up so he can go back to having another sip of his white wing. For now, he's just going to chill there until I make him go away. But I'll show you how to do that, make him go away. Why he's so far off of his anchor point, I can figure that out. I adjusted that or something. Anyway, oh, that's just the center of the screen, sorry, from my Photoshop document. So at this point, he's gonna stop. The tongue's gonna come out and get him, right? So right after he gets to this point, like one frame after, I'm gonna turn on the opacity, and one more frame after that. Ooh, I don't know. I'm thinking this through in my head live during the tutorial. I'll actually probably have him go in with the tongue. So I'll save this for later. I was thinking about turning him off with the opacity. Just one other thing that you can animate. I can just click on this and make it a 0, hit enter, and then I can make him basically disappear in one frame. So he's there, and then all of a sudden he's not. So maybe the tongue will like just take him over, and I don't have to like have him go into the mouth. So that's there. But if I didn't want to do that, I could simply drag a box around these two things later and delete it. And now he's just going to stay there. So Control Z, I'll leave it in there just in case I do want to have him, and I'll build my tongue, animate that in, decide at that point whether or not I want the tongue to go away. Either way, this is a simple position animation. Again, if you wanted to go faster, just move your little keyframes closer together, and your fly will zip around a little bit faster, maybe so fast that you don't even see it happening. There he goes, moving like a fly, not like a snake. That's a whole other thing. Have a good day.